You're just going to see a lot more software. But as you point out, and I'm actually curious to ask you, Mike. Mike, you're a software developer. This is sort of your bailiwick. This does change what it means to develop software, and I could imagine some people. It is such a big change that that's a tough thing for folks to sort of adjust to. What's your perspective on that, and how do you view that?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Look, so one metric that's interesting is to say, yeah, we all got used to getting software for $1 when our iPhones could, download an app, right, for a
Yeah.
buck. And the interesting thing is now you could create a brand new from scratch application that is custom for you for about $1, right? It's not one of the ones that's already out there. It's brand new for you. Now, then the question is everybody going to go create their own apps for $1 instead of buying one that's already out there? And the answer is no, of course not. You're going to buy applications that somebody has spent a lot of human time thinking about and getting right to make it right. And so to make the thing that you want right. So in this context of saying, what does it mean to the people that make software? Well, yeah, it means that a lot of customized applications are going to get done by the end user, a lot of customizations by the end user. So great. I don't have to go down the last mile for every customer out there. It also means that a lot of fairly simple utilitarian things are going to be cheap and easy and available and everybody will have them. And what that's going to leave is the interesting middle, right? That means that now when if I'm going to make an interesting software product that I'm going to offer out, it has to include all of that reliability and security and all the things that the good design that have always been there. And it has to include the ability for any user to jump in and say, by the way, I don't like this menu. I want to make these 5 changes to it, right? So every software application is going to be a vibe coding platform for itself, right? So instead of something being configurable like in the old, low code days where if you knew what you were doing, you could escape 3 times and start doing slash commands to do JavaScript or whatever. Now you're just going to say to a prompt somewhere in that application, by the way, when I run, I don't want to see ever the water in blue. I want to see the water with actual ocean waves on it, right? And it'll go figure out a way to make the ocean wavy for you on your running app, right? And that's just the kind of thing that people will be able to do again for just not too much money inside that app. Does that make them vibe coders? I would argue that it does. Now, if you never look at the code, are you a coder, or are you just a vibe user at that point, right? So it's sort of maybe a point that's a distinction without a difference kind of a problem where we're just saying that like every advancement in technology over time, it's how you incorporate it into the useful applications, not how it replaces something that came before it.
In my just so I can sort of repeat, I think some of the key things you're saying. I think what you're saying is, listen, in the past, if you got Salesforce and you would spend, I mean, companies spend hundreds of thousands of dollars configuring Salesforce to match how they do business and how they report on things and how they forecast their pipeline. I think what you're saying is the future of applications is maybe another layer of vibe coding on top of the applications, as opposed to sort of the traditional sort of configuration processes you might go through. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's right. That's right. We used to joke that there were only 2 commands in software. One was set bugs off, and the second one is do what I'm thinking, right? And so, of course, that's still a joke today. It doesn't work that way right now, even with vibe coding, right? You can't just turn bugs off. In fact, you got more bugs than ever to go find, and you can't just say do what I'm thinking. You actually have to translate it into meaningful, differentiated, interesting stuff, right? Because these applications, the vibe coding models are trained on millions of examples of code, which mean just like the way that they write language, it's the same way they write code. It's very generic, right? It's going to be, it's essentially an average of what's on the internet, a very high quality average. It's Oxford English perfect, but it's not creative. It's not differentiated. It's not going to have your uniqueness in it, right? And so that's really kind of the core differentiator here for how these tools are used versus what's already out there.